Back home, and we've been speaking a lot about the mounting pressure that the Prime Minister is facing after sacking her Chancellor and reversing one of her main economic policies that many party members and indeed some MPs had voted for. Jeremy Hunt's taken the job of Chancellor. Is he going to save her premiership? I wanted to hear the Labour point of view as well on the political scene, and we've already heard from Scarlett. She's a commentator, but I'm delighted to be joined now by Barry Gardiner, who is a Labour MP, Brent North, and a former Shadow Secretary of State for International Trade. Good to see you. Rachel Reeves said yesterday, quotes, Liz Truss should put the country first, go back to the drawing board with her budget that was devised in lockstep with her former Chancellor of the Exchequer. Why didn't Rachel just say she should resign?
Well, look, I think what people want to hear from the Labour Party is constructive proposals for the people of this country, not party politicking. There are enough people in the Conservative Party, enough MPs in the Conservative Party saying that the Prime Minister should resign. It's not really any need for the Labour Party to be saying that. But you talked about mounting pressure, Alistair. The mounting pressure in the country at the moment is on the young couple that thought they were just going to get their dream of a house and find that their mortgage has been snatched away from them because it's now gone up to 6.5%. It's on those people that you reported earlier, the Resolution Foundation report, saying that it's going to, in the next 2 years, 5 million people in this country will be paying £450 on average every single month more on their mortgage.
I understand
That's
that,
where
Barry,
the pressure is.
But let me turn it on its head.
Yeah, sure.
Not to make it a silly point by any means, because I completely accept that analysis. But the real pressure is also on you and on Sir Keir and on Rachel.
Absolutely.
To get a general election or a change of government, if that's what you think. Daily Telegraph tells us today there is a perfectly formed manifesto under wraps, ready to go and what have you. We're not hearing much either from Sir Keir or Rachel beyond the criticism of what's wrong. We're not hearing much on what you'd do instead if you were in power.
Well, look, let me tackle that head on. Because I think you're right. What people want to know is that we can have stability, right? And they also need to see what Labour would do differently in order to get growth in the economy. Because the mantra that Liz Truss and Kwasi Kwarteng had has been all about cut taxes, you get growth. Yeah. No, it's not that simple. Because actually you need the skills base in order to do that. And if, I was talking to a manufacturer just yesterday, telling me that actually his problem was not the level of tax he was paying. His problem was the fact that he did not have the people who could come into the workplace and do the skills that he needed to perform.
The labour shortage crisis.
Absolutely, labour shortage crisis. Absolute huge problem. Yeah. But let me I'm not a front bencher any longer, so I can speak with freedom.
Absolutely. Crucially in international trade.
Let me tell you how I would look to make sure that we didn't have the unfunded borrowing that this government is still committed to. You look at the IFS, they've projected 62 billion of unfunded borrowing. Well, let's see how we could do that without it all being related around income tax and income tax cuts. If you were to look at the windfall tax, okay, so the oil and gas companies in the UK, they actually pay the lowest rate of basic tax in
65%.
No. Sorry, no, it's not. It's 65% with the windfall tax, okay? Without the windfall tax, and that's only temporary, as you know. Yeah. It was 37 was the total tax take, but 40% as the basic tax take. If you even just put that up to the average, it would bring in an extra £13.4 billion a year into the Exchequer. So if you were to look at capital gains tax and say capital gains tax should be levied at the rate that you pay tax, after all, not many people on universal credit have their Picassos to sell or their second homes. That would achieve 16 billion a year for the Exchequer. If you were to look at saying, you and I think most people would agree that you should pay national insurance on your income. Okay.
Can I put one
final
point
point
to you? Only time is against us.
Okay.
But you come back
But
very
I'm
well.
trying to give you
you're welcome anytime. I just
positive
can you say yes or no to this, that the core mantra of the party that you support and have done all of your adult life would be, let's try not to increase borrowing, but we are going to have to raise taxes from somewhere to balance the books?
The point is to look at wealth and not at income tax. You need to look at taxing the places where the wealth is. The wealth is with the oil and gas companies. You've had the chief executive of Shell and BP saying, we don't know what to do with all this money. 11.9 billion in just the second quarter of this year in terms of profits.
Barry,
look where the money is, follow the money.
Follow the money. Barry Gardiner, it's always a pleasure. Very good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. Barry Gardiner there, Labour MP.